Welcome to the God Talk, guys and gals.
Yep, it's the gal here.
Yeah, God Talk, guys and gals. This is usually Michael Mack's show, the great Michael Mack, who is out of town, I think in New York City, promoting one of his one-person shows. And so we've been honored to take Michael Mack's place is impossible, but
Thank
at least
you, Michael.
honored to be in Michael Mack's place.
Yes.
This is Susan Allen. I'm Michael Koran, and we will be discussing poems that I've written. Michael likes the spiritual, and we'll find it in these poems, one way or another.
Well,
Thank you for joining us.
thank
So
you.
Susan's picked one of these poems, the one for tonight, which is
The Art of Heart.
This is from the book Verse to Better, a poem for each day of our year. It's on Amazon, and a new version will be on Amazon next year.
Great, Michael,
Yes.
great.
But get the one, if you, I'm not allowed to advertise, so I won't say anything. No.
Okay.
Just that this one will be a collector's item, the one that's there now, because it's not going to be around.
It's not going to be published?
Yes, it's by Mikey, M-Y-K-E-Y. That's not advertising, it's just information in case you want a collector's item. If you meet me, I can give it to you for free, which is very nice. I love doing that.
I know.
Yep.
I've watched him do it.
Yep.
And he'll sign it, too.
Yes. Just because you're watching the show. If you come down to the studio, I will give you one too.
That's wonderful, Michael.
Yes.
Very generous.
I'm touched that people will take it and like it.
Yes, but it is very generous.
Yes.
The Art of Heart by Michael Koran.
Gee.
When I feel ground through soul and crown, and breathe air deep down through my seat, firelight that dwells in all my cells, nurturing me, expand freely, feel heartfully, love artfully.
Wow. I'm actually, forgive me, I'm impressed. I don't know who wrote this. It happens to be me, some version of me.
Isn't
But I
it
am
nice?
impressed. This is very moving.
It's beautiful.
It's very nice to read your poems again and say, wow, not only am I impressed, I think that's a good idea. I should try to do that.
And he's going to try and sing it too.
I am? Hell.
Yes.
I am?
Yes, but first he's going to use all the prosody, which is the music and the rhythm.
Oh, yes, we've learned. This is a great teacher. Okay, because it does sound better when, and you might try too after me, the art of heart. So when I feel ground through soul and crown, and breathe air deep down through my seat, firelight that dwells in all my cells, expand freely, feel heartfully, love artfully. I can feel it when it's like a
beautiful.
prayer.
It is.
Some of us need all the help we can get, and these are all prayers, and I would like that to happen for all of us, right? The firelight that's in, first of all, we have to feel ground. That's not so easy. Through soul, the sole of your foot and your crown, to feel that our
Grounded.
crown is grounded. Some of us get lost in our head, some of us meaning me, and get gross in our head.
Yeah,
I have a big one for not being grounded, among other things.
yeah.
So when I feel ground through soul and crown and breathe air deep, I don't do any of this, so it's very nice to be reminded. And breathe air deep down through my seat. Can you breathe air into your seat? Woof.
Mm-hmm.
Firelight that dwells in all my cells. It's good to be reminded. This is really true. This is none of this poetic stuff. Our cells are furnaces. right? They're really,
Their electricity.
they're burning, they're little ovens, and you eat some food, and the blood takes the food, a little carrot into your cell, and the carrot warms it up, so it's, and eats it. So firelight that dwells in all my cells, nurturing me, expand freely. Let's turn the heat up, especially in this winter. Feel heartfully, and when we feel this light inside, this firelight, to feel it in our heart, right? Passion. Sounds like a good idea.
But what I see is heartfully, the way he spelled this, and you can't see this.
Yes.
But he has feel, and then the next line, he has heart, space, fully.
Yes.
So
and of course,
it
none
makes
of
a
this
difference.
I do. This is like good. You write this once and it's a great idea, and then some of us need to be reminded again and again. To feel heartfully, have I ever done that? I'm not so sure. You're good at this. She's very good at feeling heartfully. And love artfully, that's a different story. For all of us, to love artfully. I'm learning now to, when I'm in a friendly mode, that I can be frustrated, and that helps immensely. This is a new, I was talking to a dear friend of mine. I won't give her name, although I'm tempted. And we're scheduled to have surgery. And she says, oh, I understand you want a biopsy to know what you have before deciding surgery. And I said, no, that's not the way they do it. When they go in, they want to take what they find. And she said, oh, yeah, I understand. You want to know what it is before you do surgery. I said, no. I was that way once, but now I'm willing to play by the way they do it. There's such a big deal to go into your nose. They want to, you know, that once they go in with all the anesthesia, if they find something, they want to take it out. She says, oh, yeah, I understand. You want to know what it is before they... I said, no, no. And in the past, I would have, like, for nonviolent communication, say, okay, you could say what you want. And okay, I don't need you to understand. It's okay. But this felt so much better. And finally, she actually got it. This simple thing, because she was in a different space, because when she had her gallbladder in bad shape, she really wanted to know what it was before she let them get in there and take it out.
Yeah.
And so she had really great difficulty breaking out of that mindset. But it felt so good to break through and to be commune and to communicate. And so that's helped me now, whenever I'm frustrated, to find a way to get that communication going, rather than, as I understood nonviolent communication, just, okay, oh, you can say whatever you want.
Right, we'll pacify you.
Yes, and you know, if I'm reading a newspaper and you want me to put it down, I don't have to. But it's the difference between, George Carlin said, the difference between fucking and lovemaking. He said, fucking is nice, but lovemaking with someone you love is about 9,000 times better. So it's very nice to be in yourself and say people can say whatever they want. And I've learned that, which is very helpful. When I have a dear friend of mine say, you're selfish, I used to tell her, I'll call her Carol. Carol, whenever you use the word selfish, it means I'm not doing what you want. Which is really true. That is really when she brings it up. But we used to fight then. Now, when she says you're selfish, I say, I'm sorry, I needed to make a plan, and I wanted to do it for my own healing, and I didn't want to negotiate with you when we're going to have the party. And she said, well, that's so selfish. I said, I'm sorry you feel that way, I love you. And that was like the nonviolent communication way. Whereas the other way, I really want communion, would be, so they're both good options. They're both good tools. One is sometimes good and sometimes the other. Am I clear or not?
Yeah, you're hitting it right on the mark. It's really good if you can take a risk, I think, and take a risk and be totally honest about how you're feeling. Totally honest. But that means that you may piss the person off. You may lose the person as a friend.
This is an example of lack of communication on my part.
Right,
We're having right now before you. This has very little to do with what I was saying. Extraordinary little. Maybe
do
the
you mean?
only connection would be words are being exchanged.
What do
this
you
is what
mean?
I was saying in the tiniest. So we can do what I did with my friend Carol.
No!
We could, or I could just say, you could say whatever you want. It has nothing to do with what I was
does.
saying. No, I'm not going to, and I wouldn't even dare ask you what I was saying. But I might. There was two examples. There was my friend who didn't understand what I was saying about surgery, and my friend who didn't understand when I didn't like it when I made a plan and invited her to it, but didn't negotiate with her when the party would happen. Because I wanted the party when I was free. So those were the two examples.
So you didn't check in with her to see if it was okay with her?
I did not want to, because she's challenging, and this was the only date I had. It was a healing party, and I didn't want to check in with her. And she says that's selfish.
Oh.
And I, in the past, would say, I had two options.
Well, that's like, why would it be selfish?
Because I'm doing what I want and didn't consult her. And see if it was a good time for her to have the party. So I'm selfish. I'm doing what I want to do and didn't consult her.
Which meant that she'd have to change her plans.
No,
if she
she
wanted
could come
to go.
or not. If she wanted to go, but if she couldn't go, that was fine too.
Oh, you mean, I don't get it. You mean she would do this on purpose all the time?
At least it's a little bit better when Susan is saying she didn't get it, because at least now she doesn't think she got it. So this is actually a step forward. But fortunately we have 13, and this is Michael Mack like spirituality. This is about communication and communion. So Susan has very, very little idea of what I'm talking about, but at least she knows that now, which is a great step forward. It's two simple things.
I'll get a star on my forehead if I get it
If
tonight.
you get even one of them. There's two separate ways. Way number one. Okay? Way number one, which is happening between us now, too. You don't understand what I'm saying. I don't think you have a clue as to what I'm saying. I could just let you, because you're very...
No, I know what you were saying with the first person.
No, you don't.
I do.
Tell us. Well, you can judge. Columbia, what do you think?
Okay, so the first person actually did not listen to what Michael was saying.
No, she did listen. She didn't like it.
She heard it in her own words. She wanted...
No, that's not true. Again. Wow. It's the same thing. And I have a choice now. So we can do it with us now. We don't have to do it with her. I have a choice. I'm saying something. I don't think you have a clue as to what I'm saying. You think you got it. I don't. I could let you, just because you're interesting, you're beautiful, you're fun, you've got a great voice. I could let you just, talk on. It would be very interesting. It really would. Susan's fascinating, in case you missed it. I'm sure you haven't. So I could let you do that. And that's fine. That would be the nonviolent communication way, one possibility. I say something, I don't need you to understand it. You can think you understand it, and that could be fine with me, because I could just listen to you.
Could you say it in a different way?
I'm just saying step number one is if I say something and you don't understand it and think you do. You got it?
Yeah.
I could say, okay, I don't need to be understood. You can be under the illusion that you're understanding me, and that's okay with me. I don't need you to understand.
But you said nothing is an illusion.
Well, that's before the show. But no, but you might think you understand. No, I didn't say that either. You might think you understand, and you don't, according to me. Not even close to understanding. So number one is, there's just two things to think of. Number one is, if I say something and you don't understand me and think you do, right?
Yes.
And I think, no way, I can let it go. I really can.
Sure.
I don't need you to understand me. And you're interesting enough. You can go off in your own. That's number one way. And I'm okay with that. I do not need you to understand me, even if you think you do, unless it's a question of doing something, but this isn't. So number one, I can just let you be in your illusion that you understand. Right? I can do that. Number two is what we're doing now, is I could, because it's somewhat frustrating when someone says they understand you and they don't, and you think they don't have a clue as to what you're saying. I could do what I'm doing now and try to make a connection and really communicate, which would be the difference between fucking and loving. 9,000 times better. It might not happen. We only have 11 more minutes on Michael's Max show. So I just told you the two things. Now, Columbia might have, because Columbia is brilliant. And so are you, actually. So there's two things. Way number one, I can live and not need you to understand even when you think you are. Way number two, I can feel my frustration that you're not getting what I'm saying and pretending that you do, and really work to get some communication. Those are two separate ways. Both are fine. Would you like to try to witness what I'm saying?
Yes, I'd like to know.
Wow, you're seeing this as a great moment in television, folks. I will be quiet until you get something wrong.
What? I'm not going to say anything. I'm not putting my foot in my mouth anymore.
That
I'm not
sounds
going
like
to do
fun.
that.
That would even be more fun than this, to watch her put her foot in her butt. No, you said you understood. Have confidence.
I thought I did, and
Have
now
confidence.
I don't.
Why? Just because you're going to be tested on national television?
National. This is not national. This is Access TV.
Don't blow my illusions.
Oh, okay. Now we have an illusion.
Yes.
Okay.
So, no,
this is very
she's running
interesting.
away from this. Now, what are
No.
the two ways?
No, you have.
The two ways
look,
of communication.
If you're going to make love to me and you really
On
want it
television,
9,000 times better,
Yes.
and make love with them, and you're including them in the process.
Wow, this is going to be quite a show.
So if you're going to do that,
Yes.
then any loving attempt to try and allow me to understand you, since I don't, would be the compassionate way to try to communicate. That is NVC. It isn't that you don't raise your voice in NVC. It isn't that you pacify, or it isn't that you ignore and you run on. I'm sitting here and I'm trying to listen. And you're saying, no, you don't get it.
No, you say you get. Now I said I did. That's not true. Unfortunately, we have this on tape. I said you said you got it, and I said okay, we're gonna watch.
But I thought I got it.
Let's
You
hear
said
it.
No.
No, let's hear it. No, we didn't get to this new point. Tell me what the two ways are.
The two ways are that I could go off into the sunset with my illusion that I thought that I understood, and you would just accept that I didn't understand. You know that I didn't understand, and you would just go off in the sunset and say that that's okay. It's okay.
Beautiful.
That she doesn't
Perfect.
understand.
Perfect. She got step one. The drama is continuing. Now what's the other way?
Well, you're yelling at me.
No,
so
I'm not
I
yelling.
don't know.
I'm yelling at Columbia.
So, the other way is to try and sit here and allow me to get the communication correct. In other words, allow me to understand really what you said.
It's not the word allow is not. It's getting closer. It's not allow. It's expressing my frustration that we're not. I mean, who would not want to communicate with this beautiful being? Expressing my frustration that we're not communicating, and work with my frustration, knowing that I love you. Work with my frustration to get to the point where we do understand each other. So it's not allow at all. It's need.
But I don't feel hurt by this. I feel
Yes, because you're loved.
I feel
Because I
very
love you.
loved.
Yes, exactly. I'm
Yeah.
working hard. That's the trick. If I was yelling at you or angry without you feeling love, that's a different story. But if I can do it and you feel love, even though it's frustrating because we're not communicating. So could you tell me the second way now?
No, I can't. I don't understand.
Okay, thank you. Even that's a step forward. Okay.
I'm being honest.
Yes. So when I'm frustrated that I'm not communicating with you, I could either, as you said, step one, just say, okay, that's all right. I'm still happy to be with you. We could not communicate, and that's fine because it's not crucial. It's not like what we're making for dinner or something like that. Okay, so I could just be okay with us not communicating, even if you think we are.
Okay.
Or number two, the frustration I feel that we're not communicating, right? It's frustrating. You want to communicate, someone thinks they got it and they don't. It can be really frustrating. There's someone who says, I understand you, I got it, and they don't at all. That could be very frustrating if you want communication. Want that beautiful feeling of, oh, yes, we're communicating. So I could work with that frustration, as I'm doing on this show, again and again and again, trying to get communication so I feel that we're really communing. That's the second way. Would you want to try to say that?
So you want to know that I understand really what you said.
True, but how would I get there?
Well, there are lots of different ways you could explain it in a different way.
Okay, so it's very interesting. She can't, somehow the word frustration is not something that's communicating successfully. I'm saying when we don't communicate, I feel frustrated, especially with someone as beautiful and fun as you. Yes, I'm serious. And I feel frustrated, and I want to use that frustrating energy, which I'm doing on this show, to try to get through. So I really feel you get what I'm saying. So could you say...
So do you want me to tell you that I'm really concerned about your frustration?
No. I'm not even doing that. We can keep trying. We still have 4 more minutes. I want you to just witness what I'm saying.
Okay.
So that you can understand what, just repeat back to me in your own words, or even mine, what I'm saying. As the other way beside the way of, this is way number 2.
Okay.
Okay?
Go ahead.
No, I've said it. I want you to say it to me back.
Well, you said it's extremely frustrating for you to try to communicate with me, and when I don't tell you that I don't understand.
No. Okay, I'm going to try again. So this is an example. So I'm going to say I'll try again. It's the same thing that I had with my friend on the phone who had a gallbladder operation. So you take a breath.
I'm very calm.
You can see, there's no breath here. She has not breathed, and this is a medical miracle.
I am
She has
very
not taken
calm,
a breath
believe
in
me.
4 minutes.
I mean, I'm breathing,
And
but
she's
it's
a
very
music
deeply.
teacher.
I'm trying to listen. I'm trying to listen to this
I'm going to say
frustration.
it again. No, I'm saying when I feel frustration, because we're not communicating,
Okay.
I can use that frustration energy to needle you, doing what I'm doing now, give you a hard time, ask you again and again and again, could you please tell me what I'm saying? Okay. I'm using my frustration to create communication.
Well, that never works anyway.
It's worked for me repeatedly. I don't want you to judge this. I want you to you could not think it's a good idea. It works beautifully with me. We're going to see it work in the next 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Okay.
Tell me what I said.
It doesn't,
She won't do it. She can't get out of her own mindset to repeat 2 blooming sentences. When I'm
frustrated.
Yes.
Go ahead.
When I'm frustrated, repeat after me.
When I'm frustrated.
I can use my frustration.
I can use my frustration.
To attempt to communicate to you.
To attempt to communicate with you.
Yes, okay, now say it yourself without my prompting.
When I'm frustrated, I can use my frustration to attempt to communicate with you.
Yes, got it. See, you stay tuned with us, and we got it. So those are the two ways, right? I can either let you be by yourself and not communicate, or I can enjoy this frustration, and you help me
Oh,
learn
well,
this.
I think you enjoy it.
Yes, I had, and I'm really good if you enjoy it too. I think she looks like she's enjoyed a little of this. Yes, she's breathing now. This woman who wasn't breathing is now breathing in front of your eyes.
So there's another way to do this, but we don't have time tonight. So when you're frustrated, when I'm frustrated, in my attempt to communicate with you, I will needle you.
Yes.
Okay, that's what he says.
Yes. I don't sometimes. I can do it. I don't have to do it all the time.
So when people raise their voice and they really enjoy it,
Aha!
they do it with love,
Yes.
I tend to kind of
Yes.
do that.
But you can grow out of that.
I can.
Yes. Enough practice.
Oh, try it?
Yeah, no, well, you have
What, do you want me to
practice.
yell too?
Yeah, sure. Yes. Come on. See, it's very nice. You had a good time. She's having a great time. You have 30 more seconds to say in the loudest voices you're comfortable with anything you want to sign off to this.
Why? I mean, I just don't understand why this guy is like this. He wants me to understand him and his frustration, but I don't get to do that.
She's doing it now.
I don't
front
get
of you
to.
as
He
you are.
doesn't. It's like I bend, but he doesn't need to bend. See?
I'm bending.
Did you know that 1 in 4